This is only for my archives, because finally, after 16 games played in the National Football League, over 250 games played for the season, finally, Detroit and Chicago, the score today, Chicago won 26-24, exactly the way it was 21 years ago. Although it was Tampa Bay, Minnesota, I was looking specifically for that score to fall in one of the last 3 weeks, starting from the 9th, the birth of my son of December, till the end of the month, the 30th. It happened 21 days later, and he's 21 years old. Chicago won 26-24, and it was the only 26-24 in the entire season. I was looking for that specific score for a specific reason, because it represents the dog and the cat, the lions and the bears. Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. What does it mean? It means what this means. You don't get it. This is a computerized world. Brush me away and dust me off. Take me out of the archives and you will see. Keep a clear mind and understand what the spirit light is all about. The Mayans weren't wrong. We just didn't read properly. We must learn how to read and to write one more time. Thank you. Oh, it didn't end? Another thing, I'm going to mention this again. Alfred Weber Lambert, he's been digging into stuff that is supposed to come true. For what reason? I don't know why, but it came true. Don, on 32 Degrees of Insanity, him too, the same thing. He's finding these things, but still none of the two are putting it against games people play, because it's too much of a coincidence. Too many coincidences mean that it is just a coincidence, right? I don't think so. But I want to wish you Merry Holidays. I want to thank the North, the East, the West, and the South, because they bring me the news. I want to thank AM and PM for putting me to sleep and waking me up. I want to thank AM and FM for being the radio that I can listen to bring me the vibrations into this world. I like to thank YouTube for letting me stay on all year and not canceling me out like they canceled out 300 of my videos. But don't worry, I'm not discouraged. I just roll back one step and then move forward again too. That's okay. I don't mind falling back. I've done it all my life, so it's nothing new for me. Where else can we go? The understanding how the world goes round on a bearing. Understanding how the world goes round. I'm not turning the bearing. I mean, I'm not moving the bearing, but yet the world, you see the way that the lines are on the top? Now watch those lines. Watch those lines. Those same lines are now on the bottom. Now watch those lines. Now they're going, and now they're on the top again. The world we're in, this is basically what it is. Welcome to Earth. Where man might be a little crazy and some people more nuts. Where some zig and others zag. Where Buddha and the Chinese, who everybody seemed to want to have their acupuncture and relaxation modes, but they won't fall to formation. Where any aspirin, or any ass of 10. Remember the Citizen Band radio? It's all 10 codes, because that's how we are. 10-7. 10-4 is who I am, and I found a lot of things about me this year. What I like the most about me, besides these two dirty hands, is when I make the crease, all you see is that crease. I open my hand, and you see the same line. I open this hand, and here's the crease. When I close it, the crease only creases here, one here, and one here. You understand? It's just like the pyramid stands up. Hands dirty. I don't care. I had to cancel out a couple of guys on my YouTube, because you know what? I don't mind somebody putting me down, but put me down with a story. Tell me a story that you don't like me. Tell me why you don't like me. How do you want me to learn? You just come in here and hit the buttons? I said I never cancel out anybody, but you know what? I did. Because I felt like it. Because I want somebody to ask, I want to come back. You want to come back? Tell me why. Tell me why. I want a story. I want people to tell me stories. I have a few people. Mr. Caterpillar or Smokin'. We've been smoking. Ho, 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 ho. All the voices of the world. Remember B&B, Bugs Bunny, R&R, Road Runner, D&D, Donald Duck. There's always more. There's always more. There's always more. We must connect ourselves around the world, just like the satellites. And how many satellite communications are above us? There are hundreds compared to one satellite moon. So therefore, I don't believe there's one moon. And yes, I figured out the Americans, they walked on the moon. And of course, after the walk, they took a shower. Honey, can you bring me the soap? Are you going to have to go to the market to get it? Oh, that's the way they worked and walked on the moon. Dibbled in a little bit of sand, moved over a little bit of water, but the footprint that's on the moon, no way that exists. There's supposed to be wind, there's supposed to be no gravity. That's pure crap. Of course the Americans walked on the moon because that's what they wanted you to know, and it's part of the program. If you think there's a God, he made a program. There's got to be somebody that works the program and reads it off the computer and sends it out to us, just like consensus. All these things that are free in this world, once you have to read it, look at it, go and buy it, all that costs money to do it. It costs time to do it. So there's nothing free unless you really need it. And then when it is free, the question is, what do they want for you? Like for me online, I barely fill out my name for anything. What for? Sometimes I do because I don't care. And sometimes I say, what for? What do they want from me? I'm not interested in making $300. You understand why? When you go to the races or you gamble, to win money, you have to take a chance. To fill out an application in your name, you don't know where it's going. Oh, it's an easy 300. And then they want to charge you for the cycle. Everybody wants to make a little bit of extra money. But all that extra money one is making, the people on top are growing bigger and bigger. While 2 go up, 6 fall, 1 gains. The other are in between before they fall. And then they go down. 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Just like in baseball, it's just like in life. But it's not the same 3 that go up, and it's not the same 3 that go down, because at the end, we're all down. You worked 30 years in your life, you made $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. You ain't got a penny to your name. And it wasn't only because of the food. Imagine how much interest. We have paid more money in interest than we actually have bought in groceries. We have paid more money in taxes than we actually have left over in the bank. Snowbank? One of the words of the year is AND, because it reverses to DNA and it reflects 1, 2, 3 ABC of see the same street. Sesame Street. Games people play. Science, Scientology. What is Scientology? I don't know, but whatever I did in games people play, let's call it Scientology. Let's call it the science of the games of life. I love to paint, and I paint, 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 paint. Am I an artist? Absolutely not. These things you see in the background are just visions I get when I sleep, and I wake up, they're still in me, and I don't actually see all the visions, but they come out when I start to design. My dream last night, somehow my cousins met my family here in Canada, and we had to go over the U.S. border. But they stopped us all and told us to wait and sleep overnight. They said if you have any drugs in you, then you're going to be put in jail. And you couldn't get rid of it because every garbage can was checked. And you weren't even on the American side yet, but they were still checking you. But it's not only the Americans, because it has nothing to do with the United States of America. The United States of America is one thing, and the Americans are something else. Raphael, 7286 in the Galactic Federation of Laval, is the gala dance that is coming up in the future. And we've been dancing all our lives to try and figure things out up to a certain point. But there weren't enough of us. But right now on Facebook, I'm starting to see they're waking up. Alfred Lambert Weber has now seen a different edge. And instead of looking at it to debunk things, he sees right away, okay, what's wrong with what happened? That's the question. Once something happens, find out there's a reason more than a guy ran to a school and banged up a lot of people. There was more influence than that. John F. Kennedy, Aldous Huxley, and many more that went down. Sting, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Listen to my words, I'm speaking. Because I'm taking it from both ends. They're giving it to me, and I have to handle it, and when I dish it out, I try to do it with all the sweetness and kindness of the possibility within the heart I was given. Again, craps is another game. Roulette is another game. They tell you stories. Bowling, 5-pin bowling, 10-pin bowling, card games and baccarat, card games and casino war, card games and poker. Did you know that poker actually crosses over Highway 70 and Highway 35 in Kansas City? That's right, that's where it works out to. And the Big Egg rides Highway 35 all the way down into Texas. 3x5, 3 plus 5 is the 15 and the 8 ball. The 8 ball is H, the 15 is O. Ho, ho, ho. And they don't pronounce the 15 ball in CB codes. That's it. Thank you. Oh, wait a second. Raphael in the constellation of Pegasus. Under 7286 Starlight NGC. I welcome you into 2016. I'm sorry. Welcome to 2016 in 2 days. Not a mistake. Not a mistake.